Behind every crown lies a story, but behind the imperial crown of Ethiopia lies a sacred lineage rooted in ancient prophecy, shifting power, and bloodlines that defined a continent. To truly understand Emperor Haile Selassie I, one must look beyond the legend to the royal branches of his family tree, where the legacy of Shiwa meets the noble houses of Wallo. Welcome back to Hyssop Media. Today we trace the royal ancestry and dynastic lineage of the last reigning emperor of Ethiopia. Imperial bloodline, the Solomonic legacy. And to understand the rise of Emperor Haile Selassie I, one must look centuries backward into the legendary foundations of the Solomonic dynasty. His right to the throne was not merely claimed, it was woven directly into his bloodline, and the paternal lineage and the Shiwan crown. Haile Selassie's primary claim to imperial legitimacy flowed through his paternal ancestry, anchoring his heritage directly in the ruling house of Shiwa. The royal link, his grandmother, Woizero Tenagnawerk Haile Selassie, was the daughter of King Haile Selassie of Shiwa, making her the paternal aunt of the revered Emperor Menelik II. The kinship. Through this lineage, Haile Selassie's father, Ras Makonnen, stood as a direct first cousin to Emperor Menelik II, the imperial succession. This made the young Haile Selassie the emperor's first cousin once removed, a connection traditionally held in Ethiopian custom with the respect of a grandnephew or grandchild. While his royal claim burned bright through his paternal line, his maternal heritage tied him to the powerful strategic region of Wallo. Maternal parentage. Haile Selassie was born to Woizero Yeshimebea Ali, nobility of Wallo. She was the daughter of Dejazmak Ali Abba Jafar, a distinguished nobleman of the Wallo province. Historical note. The title Abba Jafar was a traditional horse name denoting warrior stature, distinct from the famous ruler King Abba Jafar II of Jimma. Uniting the Shiwan imperial house with the noble traditions of Wallo, Haile Selassie stood at the crossroads of Ethiopian history, a ruler whose lineage cemented his place upon the Solomonic throne. The last emperor of the Solomonic line, the crown of the King of Kings. On November 2nd, 1930, the eyes of the world turned to an ancient mountain realm. A man named Teferi Makonnen was anointed King of Kings, elect of God, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. He became Emperor Haile Selassie I, a leader whose life would mirror the glorious heights and tragic collapse of 20th century history. His story begins far from the grand palaces of the capital, in the rural village of Ihersogoro on July 23, 1892. Named Liege Teferi Makonnen, he was born into the high nobility of Ethiopia. His mother, Woizero Yeshimebea Ali of Wallo, died when he was just 2 years old. His father was Prince Ras Makonnen Woldemichael, Governor-General of Hararge, a master strategist, visionary diplomat, and top advisor to Emperor Menelik II. The Solomonic lineage. King Haile Selassie, Shewa. Tenagnawerk Haile Selassie Emperor Menelik II. Ras Makonnen Woldemichael, cousin. Lai Teferi Makonnen, Haile Selassie I. Through his paternal grandmother, Woizero Tenagnawerk, Teferi traced his bloodline straight back to the Solomonic dynasty, making him the grandnephew of Emperor Menelik II and a legitimate heir to an ancient throne. The education of a prince and rise to regent. Teferi was raised in two worlds. Church scholars taught him Ge'ez and sacred liturgy. Meanwhile, Abba Michael, a French Catholic missionary, schooled him in modern sciences and international politics. In 1905, age 13, bestowed the noble title of Dejazmak shortly before his father's death. 1910, appointed governor of Hararge, earning a reputation as a stern, exceptionally fair administrator. 1916, named crown prince and regent plenipotentiary under Empress Zuditu. For 14 years, he ran the nation's modernization and diplomatic relations. His coronation broke centuries of tradition. For the first time in Ethiopian history, the empress consort, Menen Asfaw, was crowned alongside him on the exact same day, building a modern state. On July 16, 1931, the emperor signed Ethiopia's first written constitution, seeking to transform a fragmented feudal empire into a centralized modern state. Imperial ministry, historical leader, historic mandate, Ministry of War, Ras Mulugeta Yigezu, created the Professional Imperial Bodyguard Army, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Blatant Geta Hirui Wolde Selassie, championed Ethiopia's entry into the League of Nations, Ministry of Interior, Ras Kasa Hailu, standardized provincial governance and internal order. Ministry of Finance. Bajiron Fikre Selassie Katema, created formal tax systems and state banking structures. Ministry of Pen. Zahafe Tezaz Woldemeskal Tariku, imperial archivist and drafter of all imperial decrees. In October 1935, Benito Mussolini's fascist troops invaded Ethiopia. The emperor fought on the front lines alongside his men at the devastating Battle of Mechu, but superior air power and toxic chemical bombardments forced him into exile to wage a diplomatic war. Archival audio/recreation, embedded speech. It is collective security. It is the very existence of the League of Nations. It is the value of promises made to small states that their integrity be respected. It is us today. It will be you tomorrow. Emperor Haile Selassie I, Geneva, June 1936. For 5 long years, patriotism burned in the mountains. Supported by local guerrillas, the emperor returned to Addis Ababa in triumph on May 5, 1941. The father of Africa. As Africa broke the chains of colonialism, the emperor stepped forward as a grand mediator. In 1963, he united rival ideological blocs to establish the Organization of African Unity, cementing Addis Ababa as the diplomatic capital of the continent. Expert interview simulated. He wasn't just a leader for Ethiopia. He gave financial backing, diplomatic passports, and military training to freedom fighters across the continent, including a young Nelson Mandela in 1962, the Rastafari movement, and the Jamaica visit. Across the Atlantic, Pan-Africanists inspired by Marcus Garvey saw Haile Selassie's 1930 coronation as the fulfillment of prophecy. They called themselves Rastafari. The land grant, 1948. The emperor granted 500 hectares of land in Shashimene, Ethiopia, to black diaspora settlers. Groundation Day, 1966. His historic visit to Jamaica sparked an international cultural wave, later carried across the globe by reggae legend Bob Marley. Groundation Day, 1966. His historic visit to Jamaica sparked an international cultural wave, later carried across the globe by reggae legend Bob Marley. Internal cracks. Despite his international brilliance, deep structural issues were tearing the nation apart at home. Feudal inequalities. Failure to reform land ownership left millions of farmers in poverty, land to the tiller. The Eritrean conflict, dissolving the UN-mandated federation, triggered a 30-year civil war. The famine cover-up. The catastrophic 1973 Wallow famine alienated intellectuals, students, and the military elite. On the morning of September 12, 1974, a military junta known as the Derg read the decree of deposition to the 82-year-old emperor. Accepting his fate with icy stoicism, he simply replied, "If it is for the good of the country, we do not oppose it." On August 27, 1975, the junta announced that the former emperor had died following a medical procedure. Yet, historical evidence reveals a darker truth. He was assassinated in his bed, his remains hidden beneath a palace latrine until his exhumation and imperial reburial in the year 2000. Behind the formidable imperial protocol was a sharp-witted man who ruled with quiet humor. The early visits, punctual to a fault, he would arrive at ministries 15 minutes early, just to watch disheveled cabinet members scramble through back windows to reach their desks. The sovereign's lion. When a terrified foreign ambassador froze as a free-roaming palace lion approached, Haile Selassie smiled and remarked in French, "Do not look so alarmed, monsieur. He will not eat you. He already has a designated meat budget." Emperor Haile Selassie I remains a complex titan of history, a monarch who bridged the ancient world and the modern era, whose legacy still shapes the soul of Africa. From the courts of Shuar to the Highlands of Europe, Haile Selassie's ascent to the throne was not merely a matter of ambition, it was written into his very heritage. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Ethiopian dynastic history, hit the like button and subscribe to his media.